Hi, my name is Roman, and this is a little bit about my story. Basically, who I was a drug addict for 25 years. And, in and out of jail over 20 times, prison. I just really did a real mess of my life, and and I wallowed in self-pity. Nobody loved me. I had the feeling that I wasn't enough. I had a fundamental idea of what God was growing up. It wasn't until when my parents decided that I was old enough to make my own decision whether I would go to church with them or not, that I decided that I didn't want to go to church with them anymore. I was rebelling and everything. My destruction started at a young age with that decision. I just didn't realize it. Fast forward to just a few years ago. So 5 years ago, I'm diagnosed with congestive heart failure with a heart function of 16%, and they told me I had less than a year to live. Surprise, I'm still here. It was a difficult time for me. Self-pity was compounding very much in my life. My drug addiction, my abuse to myself was even worse. I was in and out of the hospitals over and over again for these cardiac events that I had, and the cardiologists and doctors, they would tell me, look, you're gonna die if you don't stop using, and I would be like, yeah, and then I just kept on with what I was doing. I got into a little bit of trouble, and I had to go to prison for a very short term, and I was able to get a little bit of clarity because in prison I didn't have the opportunity to use any drugs, so I was able to get clear-minded a little bit. When I got out of prison, the first thing I did was get high that day. It was a profound experience for me. I got high the one time, and I started having this cardiac event again. I started having issues, and I'm on the side of the street, and I call 911. The EMTs who were familiar with me, with my situation, they gave me an EKG right on the side of the road. And while they were giving me an EKG, the Colorado Springs Fire Department CARES program happened to came by. They're the community outreach team, and so they just happened to stop. They were just driving by right when I was on the side of the street, having this EKG, and Melissa, who is one of the members of the CARES team, she got a hold of me. She talked to me for a second. Would you like to get into recovery? Would you like to, find out a solution? There's a solution to this. And I was like, yeah, I'd be interested in that. I didn't know at the time that she was in recovery herself, working for the fire department. So, for her to stop and talk to me and try to get me into recovery and open that door for me was her duty. Because, as we work this thing and we achieve this freedom, it is our duty to give back. If we've got something good, we have to give it. So there was some divine intervention going on there for me. And so I was appreciative of that fact. And I recognized that that's what she was doing. She was doing what she needed to do, and it was her duty to reach out to me. Fast forward a little bit, I got into a sober living home that they put me in. They paid for it and they put me in. And I started working this program called the 12 Steps. And these 12 Steps, was an interesting and a great way for me to get reconnected with my Savior. There was a moment when I met with my sponsor and we worked over one of the steps where I make a decision to give, my life and my will over to the care of God. And we did this prayer, and in the middle of this prayer, I started feeling God in me, and something changed in me that day. I had willingness to want to change my life. I had willingness to start this program of sobriety, willingness to understand how God could work for me, willingness to know what He would do for me. And once I saw what He was doing for me and I saw the evidence in my life, that willingness turned to eagerness. I was really starting to have this relationship with something greater than myself. I was seeing that He could do something for me that I could not do for myself. And that was clean up the wreckage of my past and clear a way for my future. And the gifts that I have right now are ridiculously great. I got a smile on my face. I'm alive, and the health that's brought back to me, my heart condition now, is wonderful. I don't have an expiration date anymore. My God has healed me. The Isaiah 53 3:5 states that, by his stripes we are healed. He's healed me for sure. Just a few years ago, I would have never thought that I would even be alive, yet let alone have my life do a total 180, and me being on the inside of helping people. I just can't, I couldn't have ever imagined that's where I would be today. But it's no surprise to see that, God can do anything. There's nothing that God can't do. If he can help a junkie, an addict, and public enemy person like me, he can do it for anybody. And I maintain that by plugging into God every morning, because I know that Satan is out there doing push-ups 2 hours before I wake up every day, waiting for an opportunity to jump back into my life if I allow him. So it's important for me to make sure I plug into that power every day. That's the conscious contact that I'm talking about, making sure that I wake up in the morning with God. I stay in contact with God every day. And at night before I lay my head down on my pillow, I make sure that I contact with God. And I do as best as I can with that, because I don't want him sneaking up on me in the middle of the night, because I know Satan's out there doing those push-ups, running calisthenics, just in case I leave that little window open for him. And I refuse to do that today. And I don't live in fear of anything anymore. I'm excited what tomorrow brings, because I know I'm in line with what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's a pleasure to be able to be doing that. And I look forward to a long life, because I stand on the promise that I am healed.